Carroll College, home to Helena, Montana, home to the Fighting Saints, and home to my family. Carroll blood runs deep through the veins of the Roberts family. It began with Grandpa Dean and Grandma Helen, who graduated from Carroll in 1967, making this spring their 50th anniversary. My Grandpa Dean majored in English education, and Grandma graduated with a sociology degree. Dean became a teacher in Anaconda and then eventually found himself back home at Carroll as the Dean of Students. 3 of their 7 children made their way through the doors of St. Charles to carry on their tradition. My father and 2 uncles were able to attend Carroll by means of academic and athletic scholarships. Another layer of family Carroll history is found in my great-grandmother Irene Roberts. Irene has always had a passion for learning. When her husband had passed, she decided to take life by the horns and experience any opportunity that came her way. Irene began taking 1 class a semester, starting at the age of 74 through her 98th year. Although she is no longer taking classes, her heart is still rooted in the Carroll family. I am now the 4th generation of Saints, along with my sister Amanda and my cousin Lexi. As many students here know, Carroll is focused around athletics, and the Carroll College football team has always been a highlight of the school. My grandfather, father, and 2 uncles all played for the Saints, and I haven't missed a home game since I can remember. My father and grandfather have a special pride when it comes to the team. They're so devoted that they don't miss a game, home or away. You can also find them parked in the corner of Quad parking lot every day, all season long, because they also don't miss a practice. And for 10 of the 25 years that my Grandpa Dean ran the game clock, I would sneak up into the box seats to help him. This pride and dedication is what has fueled the Roberts family tailgate that was established in 2001. If we look in the history books of Carroll College, 2001 was when the cornerstone of Nelson Stadium was laid in the midst of Carroll's 6-year winning streak as national champions. With a new stadium right on campus, their tradition of tailgates began. My father Mike and Grandpa Dean began their tradition with a grill that sat on top of a green electrical box that could hold 7 of the 20 brats they brought. They were the only tailgate at the time and offered their char-broiled, beer-soaked brats to anyone who was hungry, free of charge. Since then, the tradition has never died, but instead flourished and led to the eventful pregame we love to enjoy every Saturday morning. The night before the big game, the kitchen fills with steam from stout beer boiling in a cauldron over the stove. I distinctly remember the smell pouring through the house as the large silver pot was hissing nearly every Friday night from September through the start of snowfall, which quickly became snow cover. The smell was so strong I could almost taste it and my mouth would begin to water. Boiled to perfection, the pungent beer would give the sausages a full flavor as it snapped in your mouth. The next morning, Dad would throw on his tattered Carroll hat that was probably older than I was and head out to the truck. It was stuffed with a mountain of Van's deli buns, the onions Mom had so meticulously chopped, sharp cheddar cheese, mustard, ketchup, stacks of chairs and tables, grilling utensils, and a leaning tower of paper plates in anticipation for the big day ahead. By 7:30, the father and son duo had their tailgate up and ready, a tradition so odd but so necessary to get the atmosphere primed for game day. When I would arrive, I could taste the roaming scent of beer again like I had the night before. Simply by following my nose, I would end up at the front of the line, ready for lunch before I even had breakfast. Dad would always grab the crispiest brat that was charred around the edges and place it on the soft bun that had been warmed by the sun. I would slather it with mustard and pile on the onions and cheese by the spoonful. For a moment, the tailgate would quiet as I went in for that first bite, stretching my mouth to try and get all that love into one mouthful. The tailgate was filled with chatter and cheers, from 5-year-olds in their purple and gold faux hawks yelling "Go Saints," to 99-year-old great-grandma Irene, who was always conversing with anyone and everyone of the blessings of this college we love to call home. The line to get to the best brats in town would be backed up 20 fans deep, winding like a snake through a sea of purple and gold. Dad on the other side of the grill was at his happiest, with a grin that stretched for a mile. The sounds of the fans, the tastes of the brats, the refreshing pop of the top of an ice-cold Coke, and the ooey-gooey Rice Krispie treats prepared with love by Aunt Joyce. It really doesn't get much better than that. I can't ever remember a football game where there wasn't a Roberts tailgate, and I'm sure the football players would go to say that they can't remember a practice where Mr. Roberts wasn't sitting in his gray truck in the corner of Quad parking lot analyzing every play with copious amounts of sunflower seed shells gathering into a mountain below his window on the blacktop.